The internet might love him for winning by doing absolutely nothing, but as a matter of fact, Luigi's done a lot in his many years living in his brother's shadow, proving himself to be more than a palette swap player too. And today, we're looking at his long list of heroics. Hey guys, I'm Brad with One Up Binge, and these are Luigi's deeds, good to most heroic. Alright, let's start with the lesser of Luigi's noble acts. Let's get something out of the way first. For a secondary protagonist, Luigi sure got a weird knack for getting temporarily possessed by the bad guys. In Mario Tennis Aces, he's one of several characters to fall prey to the evil magic of an enchanted tennis racket, and so finds himself becoming one of Mario's opponents alongside Wario and Waluigi. It's in Super Paper Mario where Luigi is at his most dubiously heroic. He's captured early in the story, and after succumbing to Nostalgia's possession, he rebrands himself as the villainous Mr. L, the Green Thunder. Mario will have to knock some sense into his wayward brother more than once before Luigi switches sides again. Even after he's done so, he's still enough of a chaotic wildcard that main villain Dimencio deems him the perfect vessel for his final boss fusion. No, this isn't Luigi being evil, because when he's in his right mind, he'll be helping out Mario just like he always does. But it's a black mark on his record for sure. No amount of super high jumps is going to completely absolve him of that one. On the other hand, Luigi's presence is a net positive in the Super Mario Bros. Movie, even if he spends most of the movie needing to be rescued. Although he gets captured by Bowser early, Luigi comes from behind and helps Mario defeat Bowser with the power of a superstar. He might find himself caged up in the Dark Lands at Bowser's mercy, but at the end of the day, it's Luigi who protects Mario long enough for the hero to grab hold of the star and deliver a much-needed beating to the Koopa King. And props to Luigi for holding firm in the face of being dumped off on his own in a hostile environment. That's the kind of nerve that sets the man in green apart from his brother, and giving him the chance to show us what he's made of elsewhere in the franchise. That's certainly true of the times where Luigi pops up as a discoverable ally. We're talking about Luigi's minor roles in Super Mario Odyssey and in Paper Mario, Sticker Star, and Color Splash. In Odyssey, he's mostly around to run his balloon minigame and pops up in secret locations as an 8-bit sprite, but the two Paper Mario games give Luigi a bit more to do. He'll be hanging out in the background in both Sticker Star and Color Splash, waiting for his brother to pull him out. After being uncovered, Luigi will join in the game's ending parades, per Paper Mario tradition. Additionally, in Color Splash, Luigi hops in his go-kart and drives Mario up the Rainbow Road to Black Bowser's castle. He also gets the good guys to safety when the castle collapses after Bowser's defeat. It's good to see that Luigi's putting those karting skills to practical use. He's always been one of the most dedicated racers out of the cast. Luigi's spin-off skills have a long way to go to make up for his cowardice. That's what largely prevents him from doing more than helping out against the subspace emissary in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. His fear of the harmless Waddle Dees distracts him long enough for King Dedede to effortlessly turn him into a captive trophy, and he spends much of the story out of the action because of it. After Dedede's real plan comes to light, he and Ness team up with their former foe and join the others in subspace. It's hard to be much of a hero when you're in such a big crowd of them and not doing all that much while you're there. In all fairness, whenever Luigi gets the opportunity to be heroic, he'll at the very least give his best. He spends all of Paper Mario, the Origami King, hunting for the key to Peach's castle, while Mario is off on his adventure. Luigi turns up multiple keys during his quest, and while none of them are the one he's looking for, they all just so happen to be keys that Mario needs to progress. The hero will need to rescue his brother from various mishaps in order to obtain these keys, granted, but Luigi remains undaunted in his search and will keep at it throughout the story. Olivia acknowledges his accidental heroism in discovering so many keys, and at the end of the story, Luigi comes to the hilarious realization that he'd had the key to Peach's castle in his cart the entire time. Gotta love a goofy misunderstanding that doubles as a metaphor for Luigi's value to the other heroes. Origami King isn't the first time that Luigi's off having a separate adventure alongside Mario's. Paper Mario, the Thousand-Year Door, sends him off on a princess-saving mission all on his own, tasking Luigi with rescuing Princess Eclair of the Waffle Kingdom. Mario can check in with his brother after every chapter to hear tales of his latest exploits. Ordinarily, helping someone in need of rescue would land higher in the rankings, but there's reason to believe that there may be more to Luigi's story than he's been telling. The partners that tag along with him back to Rogueport frequently contradict his accounts and complain of his behavior. Furthermore, halfway through the game, the local shop begins selling copies of a series of books based on Luigi's parallel adventure, with some liberal embellishments and with all the embarrassing bits cut out. It seems that the younger Mario bro isn't satisfied with cornering the market in high-value real estate. He's quick to cash in on a book deal too. We'll never know the absolute truth of what really went down in the Waffle Kingdom, but it's safe to guess why the Mario brothers can skip out on their actual plumbing jobs most of the time. Of course, it's much more common for Luigi to do his adventuring alongside Mario. In some games, the brothers play exactly the same, but in others, Luigi gets to bring his unique skill set to the action. Often this includes a longer jump that allows for more airtime and safer platforming, although it can often come at the cost of reduced traction. The Japanese and North American versions of Super Mario Bros. 2 separately established these distinctive traits of Luigi way back on the NES, and they popped up here and there in platformers ever since. The DS remake of Super Mario 64 adds Luigi to the playable roster, bringing him into 3 dimensions for the first time. He's also unlockable in both the Mario Galaxy titles, providing a second playstyle for those times when you're looking to spice up your game a little bit. Luigi can even run into himself as an NPC in the first Super Mario Galaxy. This won't be the last time we'll be seeing double Luigis in this list. 2 plumbers are typically better than 1, and Luigi knows that better than anyone. That's why he's always willing to step up whenever Mario's in danger, and in fact has rescued his brother and others multiple times early in the series. Throughout the late 80s and early 90s, Luigi would be cast in the role of unlikely hero for Mario and friends in anime and cartoon adaptations of the games. And yes, this is also the source of the Mama Luigi meme, courtesy of a newly hatched baby Yoshi. Back on the consoles, Luigi would be doing the same in the edutainment title Mario is Missing, which uses a look and setup reminiscent of Super Mario World to give Luigi his own adventure that's all about teaching the player about geography. Anyone familiar with the character would know that all these exploits pale in comparison to the solo heroics Luigi would get into in later years, hence why they're ranking lower on the list. They can't hold a candle to Luigi's RPG journeys with Mario. The sub-series that bears both their names has provided the younger brother plenty of opportunities to prove to everyone that he's just as heroic as Mario, even if almost no one can seem to remember his name. He'll go back in time, take a fantastic voyage through Bowser's innards, and even dress in drag if that's what it takes to get the job done. He might need a little extra motivation to join in on the mission sometimes, but in spite of his trademark cowardice, his heart is always in the right place. Superstar Saga forces Luigi to confront his fears when Mario is put out of commission, while Paper Jam sends him up against his nemesis King Boo after the malevolent Spectre takes both Mario and Paper Mario hostage. Dream Team gives Luigi the largest role yet, as the only one who can up portals to the dream world by napping on a pillow. It turns out that Luigi's brain operates on just the right wavelength to open up the portals. Talk about a niche superpower. While Mario's inside Dream World, Luigi can assist him further via a dreamy manifestation that can shapeshift according to what Starload does to the sleeping Luigi in the real world. Luigi may be used to not getting respect while he's out adventuring with his brother, but we're here to say that Luigi deserves to be recognized as more than just a less famous half of a heroic duo. Eventually, Luigi gets the recognition he deserves. It's just that he's got to be scared witless in order to pull off a starring role. Luigi's mansion is home to the green-clad plumber's greatest acts of heroism, and it's no surprise that all 3 of our medals today are going to his actions in those games. The sub-series begins humbly enough with Luigi's bronze medal deed, throwing him into a foreboding manor filled with terrifying ghosts and tasking him with rescuing Mario from King Boo. After scoring a state-of-the-art ghost-busting vacuum from Professor Egad, Luigi sets off to clear out the mansion and locate his missing brother. This isn't another geography lesson either. Luigi is gonna have to face off against an entire army of Boos as well as an extended family of ghosts who've escaped from Egad's portrait gallery, all while conquering his crippling fear of the paranormal. Luigi cleans up along the way, literally and figuratively, and if he's done a thorough sweep of the house, he'll be rewarded in the end with a mansion of his own. It's just unfortunate that Luigi also earns himself a lifelong enemy here in King Boo, who's none too happy about having his plans to entrap the Mario brothers foiled. For a silver medal, he's out to calm the ghost of Evershade Valley and rescue Mario again. The Boos and their mischievous compatriots have run amok in 5 different mansions this time, each of them teaming with targets for the Poltergust. Luigi has to outwit brainy poltergeist, puzzling possessors, and a playful undead puppy to find each piece of the Dark Moon. He also comes to the realization along the way that Mario's gotten tangled up in this mess as well. The scope is bigger, the stakes are higher, and this time Egad's pocketing Luigi's money to pay for equipment upgrades. All that cutting-edge ghost hunting equipment doesn't come cheap, and neither do all those danger-prone toad assistants we imagine. Luigi's Mansion 3 earns him our gold medal of heroism, this time for rescuing Mario, Peach, and the Toads from King Boo's loose clutches. The group is lured into visiting a luxurious high-rise hotel by the glamorous and not at all shady Helen Gravely. Not long after they turn in for the night, however, Luigi realizes that something is up. He comes out of his suite to discover that Helen and King Boo are in league together and out to trap him and all of his friends and paintings. His paranoia serves him well, giving him the chance to escape and regroup with the professor. Now armed with the latest Poltergeist model and a slimy new ally in Luigi, our hero has to brave his way through the last resort. He faces off against its ghostly staff, each of them determined to satisfy their boss's desire to give King Boo the revenge he's been craving. Luigi's Mansion 3 might be a more self-contained adventure than the multi-mansion tour of Dark Moon, but Luigi's enemies are significantly more menacing this time around. King Boo even tries to pull the entire hotel and everybody in it into a painting to finally get rid of Luigi. All's well that ends well, however, once Luigi overcomes his terror, vacuums up all his foes, and restores the ordinary ghosts of the last resort to their friendly selves. He even gets to keep his earrings again, and this time puts them to work rebuilding the ruined hotel. Luigi should check himself back in. He's on an actual vacation.